We're here in Eustis, Florida on the Orlando and Northwestern Railway to chase and film a special move of the Quinchfield 800 and Seaboard System 1030 to the Winter Garden Depot for a special event. The Orlando Northwestern's newest acquisition, the TVRM 1912, ex-Seaboard Airline GP9, is being prepped for use on the Golden Triangle train in the 800's absence. Now the crew that was prepping the 1912 uses it to move the Seaboard GP30 out toward the main to be dropped, before another crew boards it to take it to Tavares to be coupled to the clinch wheel. Now they back the 1912 into the siding, and the new crew boards the 1030 to get ready to depart toward Tavares and Winter Garden. Seeing a lone Seaboard System locomotive here in Central Florida on a line like this shows me what things were like back in the 1980s when this was all part of the Seaboard System Railroad. Being a child of the 90s, I never got to see that. Now the Seaboard System 1030 heads toward Tavares.
Alright, sir. Alright, and expect to find the rails against us at the depot. Yes, sir. 10:30 out.
Arriving at the Y in Tavares, the Golden Triangle train has set out the Clinchville Def unit and has tied it down a few hundred feet west of the Tavares station. The 1030 sits and waits for the Triangle train to clear the Y, and the train notifies the 1030 on switch positions for their move, as to not run through any switches that may be lined against them from the Golden Triangle having just used them.
Here we go. Shrink on engine 1030 for radio check, over. Good radio, Mr. Shrink. At 1030, I'm in the clear of all tracks, which is line for your move from the Umatilla to the main line at the depot. Back up, clear switch. Can we go to one? Double check on that switch. Double check line for a move. Back up. Alright, coming your way. Going channel 1 over. We're not going to need to, Chris. Just stay right here.
Having chased and mostly shot stills, we come back to film at the Orlando Apopka Airport, now on ex-Seaboard Airline track, as an 800 and 1030 approach Plymouth, Florida, site of Florida Central's headquarters. The train will go towards the Toronto area and then enter the Winter Garden branch, which is ex-Atlantic coastline track, and take its final stretch into Winter Garden. on the Winter Garden branch. They are on the old Atlantic coastline track and are on their last few miles into Winter Garden. 10-mile-an-hour track speed makes this chase significantly easier. Now we're in Winter Garden at the depot, and we see the locomotive pair begin its final run-in. Many rail fans and general public watch as the first train in years carefully begins down the old rails into the depot.
Here's our awful glare. It does. It does. I noticed that this afternoon. Now we're seeing North Barricade. How many is There was one. Yep.
Oh, they're knocking all up back to the street. That's great. Video.
Fun fact is, the city of Winter Garden must have underestimated rather, the width of a locomotive on the rails and placed the protection guards too close to the side of the rails. And so the Clinchfield 800 pretty much just begins a savage rampage down the rails, knocking over every single orange thing that is there. And we sit back and we watch it and we kind of laugh.
There's your paint job, Wade.
Oh, okay.
You can touch it up.
At this point, the train stops due to some clearance issues with metal signposts that are at the ground. And as to not damage the locomotives, they are pulled out before they proceed further in. Now, having the obstructions removed, they can finish pulling into the station.
800, both Mr. Gobian and I are in the clear. You may proceed ahead, walk to the seat. Coming your way, walk.
No, they weren't big enough.
Thompson doesn't break that storm. We just come back together. The XPV, okay.
People don't want to learn.
See, I like it on the 800. Maybe we
It's fine on the 800, but people don't learn. I don't know if it does have an air brake.
With it being so long with no train being run in here, Hensley officials carefully watch the trucks ride the buried rails into the depot to be sure to stop the movement should an issue arise. With the train moving in at walking speed, both crews take extreme caution and care moving these two diesels into place.
Even off the road.
Made it in and will be set up for the display for tomorrow's event in the city, along with the farmers market in the morning and the main old car show in the afternoon. These diesels will be on display and a special photo shoot will be held there, along with a night photography class held by Sharon Sikora. The next day, we're back in the scorching Florida heat and humidity in Tavares to railfan the Orlando and Northwestern Golden Triangle route, with the 1510 and 1912 as power, before the car show and event in Winter Garden. I met up with Joshua Evans, YouTube named Seaboard Railfanner, to show him around and get him some action on the ONW. Here we see the first train for us pulling into Tavares Station. with the show in class at the Winter Garden Museum.
Power, quarter power, it would make the flash units last a lot longer. Yeah, it's an older unit. The problem could be is the older unit's not matching up to the newer cameras. So.
And the current drone will probably.
Yeah. The 1030 is a great engine to shoot. I love it. You know, it has great patina to it. You know, there's no reflection off of it. You know. So yeah, you guys will see tonight shooting this is incredible. You'll like this and you'll be like, as nice as the Quinchfield is, you're gonna love this even better. Here's one more angle. I brought the shot in tighter.
Damn, that's good. You ever use image overlay in your night shots?
Now, sometimes, but if I'm doing the HDR, yeah, then I'm stacking the photos, but that's it. The next shot is one of my favorites. I think Christian was with me on this next shot. I think we spent probably an hour and a half up there one night shooting these.
Yeah, I was with you that night.
So, again, that was, you know, I think we had 4 or 5 lights out there. I mean, you don't need 6 lights all the time. Sometimes you only need 3 lights to light up what you want. And we went ahead and popped it, you know. Again, you can see that I'm literally on the ground.
So am I correct in assuming what you do is your composition tells you how you handle your lighting there?
Correct.
Okay, so you do your composition first, then light.
Yeah. So I'll get to the photo shoot. I'll get up there, see the train there. Okay. What do I want in my picture? As soon as I decide what I want in my picture, then I decide how many lights I need to put around it. And sometimes I'll start off with 3 or 4 and add 2 more. Or I'll take 1 away. I mean, the first picture of the Clinchfield the first time was 2 lights on Christmas. That's all I use. Great. If they can't answer, well, then we're all in trouble.
Most of them can make stuff up. I can point you to someone that knows a little bit of additional information. That's some social critical time.
It's all yours.
All right. So I'm Aaron Bobian. I work for Eustis Rail Car. I'm one of the mechanics and electricians on locomotives out there. I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now, apart from doing college and stuff like that. So that's what I've been enjoying doing now for a while. This locomotive is currently running and shaping the building here is a EMD GP30. It was built in 1962. It was one of the bodies designed by General Motors as the division of General Motors, Electromotive Diesels, who built the Electromotive division at the time. They had a guy from General Motors design that car body. It was one of the first locomotive engines. Probably wasn't the first, but it was one of the first designed engines with low nose on there. It's got a 16-cylinder engine in it. It was built with a 567 D3. 567 means 567 cubic inches of displacement per cylinder. That's not the whole engine, it's per cylinder. You've got 16 of them, so you've got a lot of displacement there. It's a turbocharged diesel engine rated at 2,250 horsepower. It's, of course, a diesel electric locomotive, strong emphasis on electric. There's no transmission, none of that stuff in there. You got a big generator on one end that drives traction motors on each axle. A big, massively complicated electrical control system between that. Me and Kevin know a lot about. Unfortunately.
Designed by Satan himself. With help by Beelzebub.
Yeah. Body by General Motors, of course.
Yeah. It's kind of like, remember the movie Christine? Okay, body by GM, electrical system by Satan.
Yeah. When it works, it's great. But when it doesn't work, it's not great.
Doesn't work, you need.
Yeah, you need Kevin get to fix it. But on this particular engine here, it was built for the Louisville and Nashville Railroad and was built without dynamic brakes, but it still has the blister in the car body for where it would be if it did have it. I forget how many of them things they had. They had, what, about 50 of them, 60 of them? Road number started about 1,000, went all the way up to about 1060 something, 1070, something like that. And this one is number 1030. As far as I know, it's the only remaining example of an L&N G30 out there.
Only one that's not been turned into a road slug or something like that. Let's say SX.
Yes. The engines were extremely popular when they were first manufactured by General still plenty of those locomotives in preservation. Where I work and where I volunteer at the museum, we have 3 of them. 2 of them run. This one out here is one of them. The other one is a Southern Railway built GP30. Those were built with a high short hood. I know it's saying high short, but the front of the engine there has a shorter hood width-wise, but taller hood height-wise, so we call it high short hood. While this one has a low short. That's just a little bit about the G30. Anybody got any questions about it? Anything in particular?
Was that one modified to a GT30M?
Yep. No.
That's a straight 30.
That's as straight of a 30 as it gets. It has had a rewire on it. It's got all exane rewire. I'm not sure if they did the high voltage. Yeah, they did the high voltage on its traction motor cables. Your 74 volt DC voltage, your AC power, all that stuff was rewired by, I guess, by CSX or Seaboard system. Probably Seaboard system would have done it. So it is very, very good electrically. Mechanically, it had all the 567 power assemblies yanked out of it, and it has all 645 power assemblies. It's still rated at 2250 horse, but with the 645 power assemblies, it's way easier to find parts because there's still plenty of locomotives on Class 1 railroads that use 645 engines. So
When is it gonna get new paint?
soon.
Is it?
That question is for somebody else.
The Florida Railroad Museum, they have brought history
Shannon's
to
over
life here
there,
in
that's why.
Old Town, Winter Garden. Sorry, I work there every other weekend. So I just wanted to bring to your attention the Litchfield 800 diesel engine is here in town. And it's here for the weekend, so you too can see it. It's the Litchfield 800, manufactured by General Motors. It's actually the first diesel engine received by the Litchfield Railroad. During the summer of 2017, the Litchfield 800 was restored by CSX Railroad, and they run on the famous Litchfield Division Santa train. And that's why it was restored. So we're going back in time tonight with the beautiful train cars. They're actually going to do a special photo shoot after the car show this evening involving some of the classic cars that are here this evening. So you can hang out and watch that photo shoot if you would like. So many good things going on in downtown Winter Garden. You can always count on it. So check it all out this evening. Now to those of you out here with show cars and specifically classic convertibles, we have a local event that is coming up, and it is very